There's a lot of consideration that goes into buying your first motorcycle, or at least there should be. Many people will think about it for a while before they pull the trigger on a shiny two-wheeled woolly machine, but if you're looking to get into the cool kids club, there are a few things you should do to ease your transition from normie into squidlet, and no one wants to be a filthy, dirty normie. First, subscribe to the channel with the best motorcycle content available on YouTube. Yammie Noob. Oh, cool, you're already here. That's pretty convenient. Now all you have to do is click subscribe. That's super easy. Second, click on the bell so you receive notifications. Once you click that bell, your dosage of content is delivered straight to your favorite browsing device. However, for every person who doesn't click the bell, a polar bear dies. I know, that got dark kind of fast, guys, but I don't make the rules. Save a life, click the bell. All right, a polar bear is not really gonna die if you don't click the bell, but part of my love for you will, so just do it already. So what do you really need to set you on a path to success with your first motorcycle purchase? Some gnarly privy parts and a lot of preparation. The first thing you should do before you buy a motorcycle is take a motorcycle safety course. In some places, these are called an M class, just like it is on your motorcycle license after you pass the course. And I want to make it clear this is for American riders. Eurobros have all kinds of different classes, regulations, and restrictions. And you know what? Maybe I should make a video on that. But if you haven't seen it yet, click the pop-out card to watch my definitive guide on how to get started riding a motorcycle. That's a good one, boys. You're going to want to watch it. Even if you've ridden before, it's always a good idea to take one of the many safety classes offered by motorcyclists. And no, just because Uncle Jim let you take his VFR around the block doesn't mean you're ready to lane split at 40 miles per hour through dense rush hour traffic. If you haven't ridden before, this class is going to teach you the basics of how to ride your bike, how to react in potentially dangerous situations, and get you set up for motorcycle license and insurance. Don't skimp on this one, guys. It's driver's ed for your motorcycle, except you get to start on the bike. So it's pretty exciting and fun. You'll learn important techniques for riding defensively, invisibly, and in all weather conditions. You'll ride over obstacles, work some pretty wicked figure eights, and some classes even offer information about basic maintenance. I remember signing up for my MSF and I was super excited to finally jump on a bike and see what it was all about. Is it everything you need to learn when it comes to bikes? Hardly, but it's an excellent starting point. Up next, do some research. Think about how and where you're going to be riding. Create a budget and do a rough Google search for bikes in that price range. So best motorcycles under $7,000 or something. Now, that sounds like a video idea to me. But luckily, the good people over at Motorcyclist Magazine already made a video about that, so go check that out. The more you research, the better prepared you'll be to make an informed decision. You don't start a new hobby or buy a new car without doing a little bit of research, and the same applies for buying your first motorcycle. Don't just research bikes either. It's important to get an idea of what you want, but it's just as important to look at things like insurance rate, essential gears you should have, the mechanics of riding a motorcycle, etc. The more you learn before you get a bike, the less tempted you'll be to screw something up by goofing around. But keep in mind that no matter how much research you do, there's always going to be gaps in your knowledge, so don't be a know-it-all when you head over to your MSF. After you spend some time researching, make a list of bikes you like based on what you find. These are going to be bikes that fit your budget, fit your riding style and needs, please you aesthetically, and have the CCs and setup you're looking for. It's important to do the research first because otherwise you'll just be listing bikes because they're pretty, which isn't exactly wrong, but that's how you end up with the Turbo Busa as your first motorcycle, and no one wins when that happens. For real, do not actually buy a Turbo Busa as your first bike. I know it's hard to believe, but a turbocharged 1300cc custom-built bike with 340 horsepower to the wheels is not exactly beginner-friendly. Research the best beginner motorcycles if you need a starting point, or you can check out the video I made not too long ago about overrated beginner motorcycles and what you should get instead. Click the pop-out card to see more about that and be a knowledgeable little baby yam. Another cool thing that can happen while you do this research is you discover styles and different motorcycle types you didn't even know existed. I've convinced many a first-time motorcyclist that while a fully fared bike looks cool, naked bikes are the way. After showing a buddy of mine who was interested in a Ninja 300 the throaty bark of an FZ07 and the naked bike looks, he was profusely excited to jump ship and check it out. Once you've made your list, head over to the local dealership and go sit on the bikes on your list. If you got a Cowie Ninja on your list, go and sit on a few different setups and see how they feel. Just because a bike looks good doesn't mean it's going to be a good fit for you. And it may sound silly, but different bikes fit different bodies differently. A super sport's going to fit a small frame person differently than a fat boy. Simmer down, y'all. I'm talking about the bikes, not people. I may be a total D-bag from time to time, but I am an inclusive son of a bitch. So make sure you find one that fits your body well and you can comfortably maneuver. It's important that you place your feet flat on the ground and comfortably hold the bike between your legs at a complete stop. You don't want to end up laying your brand new bike over simply because it was too heavy for you or your legs weren't long enough to properly balance it at a standstill. All right, moving on to number 5, consider buying used, and if you can, pay cash. I've got one word for you people: Craigslist. I've said it before and I'll say it again, Craigslist is a gold mine for motorcycles. That is 100% gooch juice. People buy them new, ride them for one season, realize it's not for them, and then they sell them on Craigslist for pennies on the dollar for what they paid. It's pretty common to find brand new bikes with less than 1,000 miles on them for 5,000 bucks or so. Go a little more used than that and you can find some pretty sweet gems for even 3,500 bucks. Whatever your skill level and budget, if you keep an eye out on postings, I guarantee you'll eventually find something that ticks the requirements on your list. However, for the love of God though, find a happy medium between used and well priced, because the last thing you want to do as a new rider is get a bike that's going to require a bunch of wrenching, isn't safe, or both. Kind of like the Hentai Hornet I'm restoring. Even though it's billed as a beginner bike, it's most certainly a horrible choice for beginners. And pro tip, if you can, avoid buying in the fall or the spring. The weather's amazing, and in most parts of the country during that time, it's considered bike season, which means the demand is even higher, supply is lower, and those sweet deals you're looking for will be nearly impossible to find. Try to buy out of season if you can. You'll end up getting a lot more bike for the money, and it'll be easier to pay cash, which means no interest rates, dealership fees, etc. So if you're willing to wait a few months, you can save a few $100s. If you are dead set on getting a new bike, really consider how much that bike is going to cost after financing, especially when compared to how long you plan to own it. Financing a motorcycle is just like financing a car. Once you start financing, you're no longer paying the sticker price. You're now paying additional taxes, fees, banking fees, financing fees, and the number one thing that's really going to hike your bill up, interest. Don't be blindsided by the new models on the showroom floor. Yes, they're pretty. Yes, it's distracting and hard to walk away from, but you don't want to pay $17,000 for a $10,000 bike because you got it at a dealership and decided to finance it. Plus, get an add-on or two because it's going on the note instead of coming from your bank account. Except it will be, so put your focus goggles on and stay on the course. However, a tactic I've done in the past is getting financing for a bike and then accelerating the payoff schedule. You can pretty easily find out your total cost of the loan through the lender, and if you're okay with paying a little bit extra to have the bike now and you plan to pay it off sooner, go for it. Hell, even if the rate is a little zesty, if you're planning on paying it off in 6 months as opposed to 60, you're gonna massively save and you're gonna get that cool bike you want now. That's just food for thought. So once you've decided on which beautiful bike is going to be your lifelong or temporary companion, it's time to call your insurance company. You will definitely need insurance, and since you'll have them on the phone anyway, don't forget to ask about bundling your insurance with your car or something else you own that they already have insurance for you. Most insurance companies offer a discount to customers who already have more than one policy with them. So now you got your bike, you added it to your insurance policy, now it's time to get you some gear and get fitted for a helmet. Most people will get some gear right after they take their safety course because they have a better idea of how the bike feels beneath them and what kind of gear they prefer. But even if you wait until after you've picked out a bike already, it's important to make sure you have properly fitted gear before you go on any joyrides with your new bike. Basic necessities are a riding jacket, gloves, riding boots. If you're feeling fancy, you can try some Kevlar jeans or an entire racing suit, but for casual riding, it's not super necessary to be suited up. And while you're grabbing gear, make sure to grab yourself a helmet. They save lives. Ask me about my Arai sometime. It literally saved my life from an encounter with a Porsche in about 25 feet in the air. Your old Yamster has a shrine for that thing. You don't have to buy the most expensive helmet you can find, but it's important that you work with someone who can help you find the proper fit for you. A helmet that doesn't fit doesn't offer the same protection as a helmet that does fit, so get it checked out before you leave. Anyone working with helmets should be able to help you out. Last but not least, guys, have fun, ride safe, and learn from other people's mistakes. Like me. They don't call me the Daytona Slayer for nothing, kids. Don't ride like I did, and you'll be in good shape. Now that's gonna wrap it up for today's video, my dudes. What do you think? Did I miss anything? As always, feel free to voice your opinion in the comments below. I always love hearing from you, and I try my best to read everything I get on a new video. And legend has it that if you submit a comment early on, I reply. How true is that? Who can say? Anyways, I'll catch you guys next time. See you later. Fact. Powered lawnmowers kill almost 200 people a year. According to the Centers for Disease Control, over a period of 1999 and 2014, 951 people were killed due to contact with powered lawnmower. Goodbye.